The locals know about him. Tourists are on the hunt to grab him. Bigfoot has been and always will be a thing of nightmares. Let's see if these sightings prove its terrifying existence once and for all. The Bigfoot Drive-By. This was uploaded by user Throwaway roughly 3 years ago, and while they were taking a drive for a mental health day with their partner, they caught a giant Bigfoot on camera while filming the wilderness around them. It all started with them claiming to their husband that they weren't in the best mental health space, and what he advised was that they should go on a little Bigfoot hunting drive to make them feel better. They agreed, thinking a simple, calming car ride would do the trick, maybe with a little hike in the woods after. They decided to film videos so that they could easily watch back on something when their husband went to sleep, so that they could remain stable. It wasn't until re-watching the videos that they noticed the Bigfoot making an appearance behind the tree. Immediately they took this footage to Reddit, adding it as another Bigfoot sighting to the already countless collections within the interweb. This Bigfoot sighting was uploaded by the user Foul Mitten Outdoors on TikTok, and what they discovered on their night walk in the woods, alone might I add, were a pair of disturbing glowing red eyes watching them from the tree line. It had to have been an animal, because human eyes don't reflect light to that specific capacity. The man in the video doesn't seem to be afraid of what's out there, but rather annoyed that something or someone was following him on this walk. The creature kept peeking out its head constantly, as if he was waiting for the man to turn around so he could follow him again. The man eventually gets even more frustrated, yelling at this creature to leave now. This is our home. You need to leave now. It eventually got to a point where he needed to send out a warning to the animal, or whatever it was. Thankfully, it seems to do the trick, and the man continues his journey without any more interruptions. If you're an avid Bigfoot hunter, you probably already know about the famous FREEMAN footage from over 10 years ago. This could have also been from much further back, but the original uploader of this video was by a man named Paul Freeman. He was a cryptozoologist that was consistently on the hunt for proving Bigfoot's existence, and when he finally did, it became one of the most well-known pieces of alleged evidence of this monster. It's very simple footage of a large, dark-looking creature walking very human-like across the tree line. Some people truly thought this was the real deal, and the majority still actually do. Many people commented on the way he was speaking, how he actually sounded like he was in genuine fear and breathless when he saw this creature. Commenters had also pointed out that it was the exact same one that they also saw. The other side of the spectrum, however, don't really believe this isn't anything more than a man in a costume. Being the one to stalk Bigfoot instead of the other way around is bold. Although it's better that you have him in your sight, if he catches even the slightest whiff of you, it's game over. The uploader of this video couldn't really pinpoint what it was he was looking at, which explains why he decided to start filming and hopefully find some answers online. He knew for sure it wasn't a bear though. It didn't have that same shape or walked like one either. Other people who watched this agreed as well. Its movements were too animalistic to be considered human. I can't tell what this creature is doing in the video though. It kinda looks like it's messing around with a tree of sorts. Either way, towards the end of the video, after the cameraman was observing for a long time, he gets freaked out from it standing up. I can't see it in the video, but I can hear it in the quickness of his footsteps as he darts through the trees in the other direction. Just a couple of guys doing some guy things, until out of nowhere, Bigfoot decides to make its daring appearance. We're first introduced with some pals messing around with an ATV in a river going upstream, trying their best to go against the currents. Why are they doing this? I don't know, but we really get to see the big boy in question towards the end of the video. There, going upstream, is the alleged Bigfoot walking across the river. It already looks hard enough for the ATV to get up to that current, but for Bigfoot to easily walk across it like that? It's insane. That monster has an insane amount of strength. Of course, the guy on the ATV begins to freak the heck out when he sees this thing, pointing over and screaming to his buddy that he just saw the legendary Bigfoot. Sadly, this video doesn't go anywhere after that, nor do they attempt to follow it, which is good. We know how strong this beast can get when it's threatened. Rumor has it that when you're able to hear Bigfoot footsteps approaching, it's already over for you. One blink and you're gone. This video is another oldie, specifically uploaded back in 2008, but has been dubbed as another piece of solid proof capturing Bigfoot's existence. Apparently in Upper Mackenzie River out in Oregon, it is a huge hotspot for Sasquatch sightings. There are several reports from other people stating that they've come across this savage beast while hiking. It appeared to be at least 9 feet tall, covered in dark fur from head to toe. And with this footage being uploaded around the same area, it only fueled the chaos from there. A couple of friends were taking on the challenge of riding down the Mackenzie waves. Then when towards the end of the video on the far left, we see a shocking image of a giant creature walking away from the scene. It looks quite tall, not sure if I'd say 9 feet tall, but definitely has some good height on it. It doesn't look like a local fisherman either, with its entire body being one color, and some people even pointing out in the comments that the lack of its neck is telling. This video kinda looks like the scene out of a movie, at least to me, but here we have some stabilized footage of a supposed Bigfoot walking off into the sunset. Very dramatic, very cool, especially with its silhouette being up against the light. This way, we're able to get a clear outline of how big this guy really is. The upper half is insane, especially when you look at its lats and how wide they are. This creature looks incredibly strong. Although the cameraman is quite far away, he manages to follow the supposed Bigfoot with this camera, guiding with it as it begins to walk off. But with this footage now being stabilized, a lot of the people are starting to believe this could be a hoax, but who knows? I've never come across any person who looked like that unless they were some weightlifting champion. You know, things start to get a little too serious when supermodels are reporting their experiences with Bigfoot on live television in 1995. This footage was taken by model Anne-Marie Goddard out in Red Woods. It was during a time that she was part of an adventurous shooting gig out in these woods. It was late at night at this point, and they had all been apparently partying a little too hard after the gig was over and done with. Anne recalls that she saw something out in the distance, but because they already packed up all of the good cameras, all she could use was her camcorder at the time. It is extremely difficult to understand what's happening upon first watch. I had to at least view this clip 10 times before I could somewhat see what was going on. As usual, people didn't buy it, but others went on rants saying how this is why no one believes in Bigfoot, because they keep getting laughed at for their experiences. Imagine snagging some Bigfoot evidence through Snapchat, only to forget about it 6 years later. Back in February of 2019, a user by the name of Bono uploaded to the internet of an old photo that was brought back up in his memories. It was discovered near the Bellamy Wildlife Sanctuary, where in the snow he noticed a very strange footprint. It looked like a Bigfoot footprint because it was way too big to be considered a human. Not to mention, the shape is slightly different than ours, but has similar features. It also didn't make sense to the original poster on why there would even be a person walking barefoot around the property. People in the comment section didn't appear to buy it, even though there was a clear image of a big toe with the other little piggy toes. They didn't believe it was a proper Bigfoot print. Old photos are already scary, but what about this creepy photo of an alleged Bigfoot lying in the snow? Based on the description, it was taken back in 1894, and there's not much else on what or where this photo came from, other than a story circulating that it was reported by someone who just happened to see the creature lying there. Once it was reported by authorities, the workers were quick to get rid of the creature and the photographic evidence. How the tale goes, though, was that someone managed to sneak into the location where the photos were being held and made a copy of only one of them. The other images that were taken that day remain lost forever. It definitely has a human and animal-like shape to it, but looks a lot more leaner in comparison to the other Bigfoots we've seen in the media. Is it possible that this is a juvenile Bigfoot? Do you have any Bigfoot footage you want to share? Let us know, and I'll be sure to talk about it in the next video.